first, just want to say welcome to everyone. Um, I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to join us today. We are very glad that you're here and appreciative of you spending this time with us. If you are not on camera, which it looks like most people are not. If you are not on camera and you are able to turn that camera on, we would love to see your faces. It's just good to put a face with the name, and it certainly helps the conversation flow a bit more smoothly. So again, if you don't have a camera, I totally understand, but if you are able to turn that camera on, that would be amazing. We would love that. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Jenna, and I'm the sales manager here at Genesis. There we go. Thank you. There's a face. Um, we also have a few other Genesis team members joining us today as well. So I do want to extend a thank you to some of the Genesis team members for being here and for just supporting Joe and I on today's webinar. All right, let's dive in. Today, we are going to be talking about something that can truly have a huge impact on how potential customers are finding and choosing your agency online, and that is your Google presence and your online reputation. We are going to be talking about the importance of your Google business profile, why Google reviews matter so much for your agency, and also share some ways that you can make getting and managing those reviews a lot easier on your end. I'm excited to have Joe leading us through today's webinar today. Some of you may already know Joe. He's been with Genesis for several years, and Joe works with agencies every single day, whether it's helping them find the right agency management software or guiding them toward the best digital marketing services for their agency. Joe is going to walk you through everything today, show you how reputation management works, and he also plans to share some things you can start thinking about when it comes to strengthening your agency's presence on Google. Throughout the presentation, please feel free to drop any questions in the chat. I think Joe is going to ask you a few questions, just some warm-up questions, so you can type a few things in that chat there and get comfortable with that. But we will be sure to answer those questions along the way, and then definitely at the end of today's webinar. So with all that being said, Joe, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate everybody being here today. Everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Cool. So as Jenna was saying, the purpose of today's webinar is to talk about our Google business profiles, how important they are, how to optimize them. And I guess our whole approach, we want to come at this from like an educational perspective. Yes, we have products and services to streamline this whole side of things if you want, but I'll start here on the front end, just kind of giving a general overview as far as how these work, why they're important, some things you can do on your own, some things to keep an eye on. So whether you end up using one of our automations that we have to help you generate Google reviews or not, hopefully this is helpful. So as we can see here, this is the Google business profile for Genesis. Can we, as Jenna was saying, I'd love to have people throw in the chat here and just to get a little bit of feedback. Can you throw in the chat one thing, do you have a Google business profile already? Or if you don't, just say, simply yes or no. Love to get, cool. Got one, so yes, we do. So if anybody needs help creating a Google business profile, that's not exactly like a standalone service that we offer, but again, we want to help agencies really in any way that we can. So whether it's reaching out to me or anybody else on our sales team, if you're having a hard time getting this set up or getting it verified, because it is a little bit of a process, just let us know. We'll help you in whatever way that we can. Another question that I have, we'd love to hear where you're joining us from today. Genesis is based in North Carolina, so we have a lot of people based there. I'm speaking to you today from Colorado. So yeah, welcome into everybody. I have a little slideshow here that I will pull up some of the things we've already discussed to some extent. Give me 1 second here. Presenter view. Cool. And if we can't see this, by all means, let me know. So, um, give me 1 second here. Click through. Okay. As we said, we're going to talk about this, how we can generate some more reviews, best practices for responding to reviews. There's more that goes into it than what some people may think. Simple steps to improve your agency's online presence. So that's the whole gist of the meeting today. As we said, please be on camera, or as Jenna was saying, if you can be on camera, we'd love to see you. Be casual, have fun. Obviously, we're keeping it casual. I'm wearing a hat and hoodie today, so ask as many questions as you need. As we already had you throw in the chat here, for those coming in now and just joining us, please feel free to throw in where you're in or where you're calling from. I see people in North Carolina and Arizona, so that's awesome to have you. While I'm presenting, you guys can throw questions in the chat. Christy on our team will be able to answer those. And then as we wrap things up, I'll allow everybody to unmute and really ask any questions that they want. So again, just feel free to ask away. We want to try to provide as much information as we can, whether it's through a service that we offer or not. So Google Business Profile. I like to often explain this as your online storefront or your digital storefront. Just like having a physical storefront, we need to make sure that everything is in order and that we have it looking presentable, that it gives people looking at our storefront an accurate representation of the products and service that we offer. So I did some digging here a couple weeks back. Even though AI search has changed things quite a bit as far as how people are getting connected to websites and information online, as of 2026, 91% of all searches are happening on Google. So that's huge. Of course, we want to use the side of that is geared for business that is tied to Google, which is your Google Business Profile. Another statistic that I was reading about this morning, which I found that was really cool, 68% of Google searches end without a click. So what that means is people are now going to search for things in insurance agencies, and they are, or doing searches on Google, excuse me, it's not just insurance, but they're basically getting information that they can see right here. I'm sure as you've seen, sometimes you'll get like an AI response that provides you content, but less and less people, again, 68% of the time, people are able to get the answer to their question here without clicking on anything. So that further drives home the point that we need to optimize our Google Business Profile, because hopefully we're either going to show up as we did here when you search for something directly, or if we go in Kansas City, I can't type when people are watching me. But as you can see here, the goal is to appear in this first list or grouping. 43% of people are going to click on the results that appear here in this 3-pack that is presented by Google. So that's the whole game that we're trying to play. We're trying to optimize or set up our Google Business Profile in a way to where we're naturally going to rank as a Google listing, and hopefully we can be up in the top 3 listed. Again, 43% of people are going to list or click on something that is going to appear here in the 3-pack, or another option there is for a sponsored lead. So super important. I thought those statistics were just kind of fun to think about. If you guys don't see this page when you go into your own Google Business Profile, obviously let us know. We'll help you with that. This is kind of where you have the ability to go in and make some of the adjustments that we're going to talk about today. So again, we're happy to help you with this in whatever way that we want. Your Google Business Profile, as we've kind of already looked at, it helps tremendously from an SEO perspective. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Google is a search engine. Google's whole job is to match people with websites or companies based on their search results. A big factor in that is optimizing your Google business profile. So as we said, the better that we can appease Google, the more likely we are going to appear here in this 3-pack, and people are going to click on us on a higher frequency. If we come in here, you can see here's some just other visuals of how people would search for things. Not only is it important from like a an SEO perspective, but for me, especially when I'm working with a small service-based company like an insurance agency, I want to go in and read real-world reviews. Obviously, we're inundated these days with all types of ad and different media sources. So it is nice, for the most part, Google reviews are a very objective way for you to go in and learn about different businesses. I do that whether I'm looking for a repair shop for my guitar, an automotive dealership, or of course a small service-based business like an insurance agency. So here's just some other visuals. We probably don't need to include that. Ways to optimize your Google business profile. So there's a lot that goes into this. One of the things that we need to look at, we'll just use this one as our example. We want to make sure that we have a description here. So this is an auto insurance agency. We need to make sure that you have the hours of operations listed correctly. Obviously, we'll talk about the Google review side of things, but having a good number of reviews and having those with a high rating is really important. Having reviews being responded to and having that done in a timely fashion is a really important factor. We also want to include different images, and also there is a new update section here to where you can essentially do like a social media post on your Google business profile. So yeah, ways of optimizing this. One cool tool that we have, we can go in here. We have this platform called Jenesis Link. This is where the automation is built that we can help people get Google reviews. Sorry, my internet is struggling here for a second. But if we come in here, this is what we see. One second. So this is our Google business profile page in Jenesis Link. We have this cool tool that allows us to have some steps laid out in front of us to optimize this. As you can see, we're doing pretty good. We're at 14 out of 16. These are just another visual as far as the things that I was listing before. You want to make sure that you have your name, the description of the company. This is a longer description than the highlight that I pointed out kind of in that quick glance for that auto insurance focused agency. You want to make sure that you have your phone number in. You can add a chat widget, everything here, and then you want to list categories. There are endless options here. One thing that we are getting dinged for here, we're a remote business. We don't have a physical storefront, so the office actual location is not listed. Some of you may be in the same boat. That is just the world we live in these days. That may change over time to where they don't consider that a factor. And as you can see, just hours of operations. So yeah, again, we have tools in place that we can help you with this in the event that you want to utilize us for optimizing your Google business profile or using reviews, but just want to give you a simple visualization as far as how that works and some of the key factors that we're considering. This is another view. We can also run a marketing audit report. As you can see here, online reputation. This is just another report that we can run. I guess this would be kind of a fun thing to offer. Anybody who's on here, free of charge, if you want us to run a marketing audit report for your agency and send that over to you, just reach out. We're going to contact everybody actually after this meeting. So whether it's me or Christy that contacts you, if you would like a free marketing audit report, we can go in and run the same information around your agency. There's a lot that will show up in here: business details, your tech stack, your directory placement or listing, online reputation, and Google business profile. So here, again, similar type of layout or highlight of information that we saw on that other screen, but it does give you a simple breakdown as far as how you're doing here and then your online reputation. This gives us view as far as some factors that Google is looking at. We want to see that a good portion of your reviews are being responded to. Google wants to see small or really any business that is active on their Google business profile. So part of that is going in regularly and updating images, or going in the update section and maybe doing a blog post. A lot of that is also having constant reviews coming in that are being submitted on your Google business profile, but we want those to be responded to. So it looks like we could, improve a little bit there. We're crushing it though with 100%. We have a lot of reviews and a high rating. So again, this is just some of the big considerations that Google looks at when they're evaluating Google business profiles. I thought this would be helpful. Again, we can send this full marketing audit report to anybody on this call if it's something that you would like some more information on. I kind of skipped ahead. We already just walked through the Genesis link report and reputation optimizer. So to these services that we actually offer around this in the automations. Again, we've kind of already talked about some of these things, but what we do here is we can take your clients and we can send them surveys. And it's a really simple survey that comes to them via email. And they get like 3 different faces. They get like a sad face and a happy face, and it's basically a button they can click on. If they give you a bad survey response, then it will allow them to leave a reason why they're unhappy, and that comes to you via email, right? We don't obviously want them to leave a review on our Google business profile. They can if they want to, but if I have control of that, I'd rather have them talk to me about that directly instead of making that public. So the benefit in that is you can learn from any situation where you may have messed up, or maybe there's a miscommunication. If they give you a good survey response to the email that comes out, then it will automatically take them to your Google business profile and will allow them to leave that review. And as we were saying, part of that automation is we can have AI go into those reviews and respond on your behalf as if it was you doing it. So that's one thing I personally struggle with, is writing personalized messages. I kind of do paralysis by analysis, where I'll sit and overthink things too much, and I'll go, am I sounding too mushy there, or am I not being, soft enough, or am I too direct? So it's nice to be able to take that burden off of you. All of our responses that we have coming into our Google business profile here recently have been AI responses. So here's some actual examples of what those look like. The cool thing is in this optimizer, you have all the ability here to go in and you can adjust. If we go into the settings, there's a lot of flexibility in here, which is cool to go in. And as you can see, you can change the tonality, right? You can change the tonality. You can change how lengthy those responses are. You can change how quickly those responses happen. So there's a lot of control that we have around responses to reviews that you have come into the Google business profile here. So where am I? So yeah, that's the whole idea. You can have AI responses come in. If it's a positive review, we also want to not only have that, of course, be on the Google business profile, but we want that to flow in and appear on your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page. So I'm sure you have a Facebook page for the agency. You can have your, customer base hopefully follows you on Facebook. They would just have further validation that they chose the right agency to partner with as they're on Facebook scrolling around and they see that, someone else had something really positive to say. And it may inspire them to make a review themselves, even if they haven't already received the email automation asking them to do a survey. In addition to that, if we go to our website, we have this included on our website. This is all part of it. Not only will that come in and display as a social media post, but it will appear here on your website as a widget. We have a lot of control we can do here too. Like, we don't really want 5-star reviews that come in and people make where they don't really give a description or say anything. So we can choose what reviews we want to display here, so it actually has some written information and not just a star rating. So it's pretty cool. Not only can we have the AI responses come in for any new reviews that we get with that automation, but we can go in and backfill reviews that you've received over time that you haven't responded to. So you may have 100 reviews on your Google business profile that have been piling up for the past decade. You may have responded to some of them, but part of this automation is not only responding to new reviews that we will help you generate, but going in and backfilling responses to reviews that you haven't already done yourself. So I think I cover everything there. Here's an example of how the email looks when we send out an email and invite people to leave a survey for us or answer a survey. As I was saying before, you get different buttons that they can click on. So we try to just make it super easy and drive engagement. So keeping things simple is the key way to do that. So this is the option that they would have. They can simply leave you a little bit of feedback here. And then as we see, once they fill out that form, it'll automatically bring you over or bring them over to the Google Business profile. And then here's an example, as we looked at when I pulled up our Google Business profile, we have all of our AI responses or all of the review responses being done by AI. Here's just another example of how that works. It does a great job and says the individual by name, sorry. Another visual of what I was mentioning before as far as the Facebook post. So you can show off on Facebook, and then just another visualization as far as how those different widgets would represent on your website if you did have those flow in. So I guess before we ask questions, I'll pull up our pricing structure. We've had a ton of success with this. As you all may be aware, the whole online marketing SEO game can get expensive really quick. And we found that a good first step is to optimize the Google business profile, implementing the strategies that I was mentioning, including generating more reviews with the automation. So what we will do, we typically charge a setup fee of $2.99 for this. We're going to waive that. The monthly fee is typically $199. We're going to decrease that to $149 for anybody that's on this webinar. Again, Christy and I will be following up with you individually after this just to answer any questions. You can cancel the automation at any time. We do ask that it runs continually. This is not a one and done campaign. We don't just send them one message. We're going to send messages out initially on a set interval, and then maybe 6 months later, if they don't, leave a review or respond to that survey, we're going to circle back with that same list and, send out a sequence again and try to get them to leave a review down the road. So we don't see it listed here, but because we are so confident in this automation, we do also offer a 90-day full money back guarantee. So if for whatever reason you guys decide to move forward with this and you find out that it's just not a good fit or you didn't feel like it was a good value, let us know, and really no questions asked. We will refund it 100%. Yeah, we really haven't seen that too much, again, for the price and how much of an impact it can have on your online visibility. It's genuinely a good bang for your buck. So with that in mind, I would like to give anybody the opportunity to ask questions, or if there's anybody on our team that would like to chime in with anything that I missed, please feel free to do so. You guys gonna keep it simple for me or keep it easy for me and no questions. So yeah, this is just one of the things that we can do. Again, if whether it's like needing help with an automation that we offer as a service, or if you just want some general guidance, or if you're running into any roadblocks with your current Google business profile, feel free to use us as a resource in the industry. We try to help insurance agencies in any way. This is just one of the options. So yeah, even if it's not a service that we have, we'll still be able to maybe connect you with someone that can give you an answer if it's not, us directly, as far as like me and Christy. As many of you may be aware already, this is one of the products, as we're saying, that we offer. Our core product is an agency management system called Jenesis Now. We also build websites. We have an AI chatbot as well, and a handful of different marketing services. So we are just simply trying to be somewhat of a one-stop shop for insurance agencies by offering a suite of different products here. So I don't see anybody that is going to throw any questions my way. No surprise, I got through this fairly quickly. But yeah, we also host a monthly webinar displaying the agency management system. Some of you maybe have seen me in the past doing that. Thank you for joining those if you have. If not, we'll be sending out invites for those too. So yeah, Jenna, anything as far as closing statements before I wrap this up?
Yeah. Thank you, Joe, by the way. That was great. Simple, clear. So I'm sure everyone else on this call hopefully felt the same way. Yeah, not much. Just, again, want to thank everyone for who joined us, and we really do appreciate you taking the time to be here. And I hope you're leaving with a better understanding of just how important your Google presence and online reputation can be for your agency. And then, also hope that you understand, what we can do on our end to help you and to take that piece off of your plate if you're interested in that. So, as Joe mentioned, just to emphasize the special offer available for those of you who joined us today, that is there for you if you're interested in taking advantage of that, or if you want to just have a deeper one-on-one conversation about reputation management. The team will be following up with all of you after the webinar. So it's a good time to catch them individually and, talk one-on-one about anything specific to your agency. But yeah, no, I think we're good. Again, thank you for spending part of your day with us and really appreciate it. And we hope everyone here has a great rest of your day.
Cool. Thank
All
you
right.
all.
Bye, guys.